Who are you? I'm a guard. Who are you? I'm a drone. Who's that? I'm Ironhide. Well, if you're Ironhide, then who's he?
Hey guys, what's up? Hey guys, what's up? What's going on? Hey man, hey.
That would be my half-brother. Welcome everyone to another episode of the Weekly Transformer, where today we're going to be taking a look at, you guessed it, Studio Series 86 Ironhide. This guy's looking super great. Super nice packaging art here. Love this illustration. Of course, we have the same illustration over to the side with the 86 cut on the side of the box. I really like that. On the back, we see that he has 26 steps and that he turns into a van. On this side, I love the side of these boxes and the way this looks and the way all these boxes look displayed together. So let's take a look at him out of the box. So here we have Studio Series 86 Ironhide out of his packaging, looking very nice. We're going to take a look at his accessories, his biggest one being his box, his backdrop here, showing the bridge of the ship that he was killed on. His other accessories are going to be the two silver guns that he and Ratchet had in the movie. These are very similar looking to the ones that the core glass Ratchet has, cast in black plastic and painted in a nice silver coating. Paint on these look very good. Something I can't say about the paint on one of his fists. So we'll actually take a look at him real quick. He looks good. He looks I like the proportions of his upper chest better than even the Masterpiece one. The Masterpiece versions, his head just, I don't know, it seems weird up here for some reason. We'll take a look at his paint here. So we have some painted shoulders here, very thick gray paint, painted fist. I hate painted fists because you get these paint chipping on the inside of them. You can pick that up, and you can see here on mine where the painting wasn't applied well. Not really sure why they couldn't just cast the fist in the same gray plastic as we have here. Turning him around, we can see that on the back of him, his wheel store in, very similar to the way the wheels kind of went on the back of the Dacius drone here, or the Siege Ironhide mold. They share a lot of the same DNA with the way that even these panels fold up and then this spins around onto the back. So you can really see the engineering that went into from this to this. Very cool to see. I like that these panels here cover up the wheels a little bit. Kind of cleans it up a little bit more, though I do have a concern with these being clear plastic and the peg that has to peg into here. I don't like clear plastic pegs, and that is going to come into play a lot later on. We'll go over articulation real fast. So his head is on a ball joint with a wiggle up and down here, slide to side, which makes posing very dynamic. Gets a full spin around. Very nice silver paint on his face and those Pearson baby blues going on. We get the a little more tilt down due to the transformation joint, so that's very nice to see. Arm can rotate all the way around, can come all the way out to the side, showing this very nice detailing underneath here. This is just like the, or very similar, if not the same as that came with Retgar. We get a full 360 at the bicep, get a 90 at the elbow. We get a slightly more back as well due to transformation. We get a full 360 at the wrist and a tilt down for that as well due to transformation. His waist can do the full 360. His legs can do the full Van Damme. Can also kick forward pretty much all the way. Knee bend slightly more than 90. Back, we're coming pretty much all the way as well. Then we get down to the ankles, which are very awesome. We get an ankle tilt down to about this far on both sides, which is very nice. But we also get tilt backwards due to transformation, and we get some forwards, and then even more kick forward due to this little panel here that covers up the leg. That's another part of transformation. So it's it looks really good. There's been some complaints about why he is a Voyager price point when he is literally actually slightly smaller than the Siege Ironhide mold here. But it's because of the engineering. is because of all the stuff that they put into this guy. Voyager is not a size price point. It is an engineering price point. So the stuff that goes into this is way different than the Deluxe. Way more complex transformation here than with the Deluxe here. For one last feature before we take a look at the alt mode, you can pop his chest down here, pop his head down here, and fold this up, and you got that look of the original toy from the 80s where he didn't have a head, he had a seat that you put a sticker on. So that's not an intended alt mode or an alt that is not an intended homage there, but I just thought that was cool that it can do that. You know, it's you know, it kind of gives you that little play value. And oh, one more thing before we go into alt mode. Spin him around here. He's got a couple pegs here that you can pop his guns onto for weapon storage in his bot mode. Or I guess you could maybe flip them around as well, store them this way if you wanted to. No, I guess you can't. Anyway, so that is an overview of the robot mode. We're going to transform him up, see what he looks like in his alt mode, and that's where we're going to get into a couple issues that I have with this guy. Ironhide has a few tricks that he does in his transformation that are pretty cool. Most of that has to do with the legs. The upper body is pretty much the same as the original Siege release. The arms go behind just the same way. They peg in together about the same way. The way the bumper goes up is about the same as well. Even the legs pegging in together is very similar to that of the original Siege release. Where we get a difference is the way that the roof transforms. Rather than having a dedicated parts forming piece, the roof forms by all the panels that collapse down to make the legs, which was a really nice feat of engineering. The feet are made up of the back of the van that fold in on themselves. The side panels fold up similar to that of the Siege release, but there's an extra piece that folds up to make the roof, to fill in the roof, rather than having an empty roof like the Siege release or having a parts forming roof like the Earthrise release. Transformation is not hard in the traditional sense, but it is definitely not easy, especially as compared to the Siege release. However, there are a few things that I'm not a fan of when it comes to vehicle mode. So here we have Transformers Studio Series Ironhide transformed into his van mode, looking really good. Do have a couple things that I wonder why they didn't put the yellow stripe down the side here. The yellow stripe, of course, was on the original G1 toy and in the G1 cartoon. So, you know, I don't know why they didn't put that one little detail in there. I think it would have really made this this mode stand out a lot more. I really like that red and yellow breakup there. On the top here, we can peg his guns into these two pegs, which honestly, I just rather not. I wish these weren't here and that we didn't have to have this breakup of the van mode. I could have done without them. Now, I'm not going to sand them off or anything, but it just kind of sticks out. It makes it look like a light bar almost, which I don't know. It just doesn't sit well with me for some reason. But the van mode is really good. It rolls really well. The wheels are beautiful on here. Again, I'm a sucker for a painted hubcap. The wheel material looks really good. Of course, underneath, the only robot mode you can see is the the legs and part of the hips here. Looks really good, I think. The transformation, it's kind of involved. It's not too hard, but it's got some really cool things that flip in and flip out and compress in. To especially, you know, when you go back into robot mode, the way that the back here flips down, which is a nice point that they made this a different material. It's a little bit sturdier than I think the regular plastic on it is going to be, and definitely sturdier than the clear plastic here, which is one of my concerns with it. Is, you know, this is clear plastic and this just folds underneath, but these parts right here, and it is a very thick clear plastic, and it feels thicker than, you know, what they use for, say, bulkhead. The newest bulkhead they came out with, it's got stress marks on it, but you really have to push these pegs into the side here to get them to stay. And then to get this part of the van, the cab of the van, you really have to force it in there. Or at least on my copy you do, or maybe I'm doing something wrong, but it's a real hard force. And it is thick. It is thick plastic, clear plastic pegs, but man, ooh, it makes me nervous. I guess it's kind of showing on here, but you can see the different colorations in the plastic, and that kind of bothers me, especially this. I get this is the arm joint, so they wanted this to be sturdier, so they cast it out of a thicker, probably more durable plastic, but it just breaks it up. And one of the reasons I almost didn't get this to start with is because of this. I don't like these hinges on the outside of it. Those bother me a lot. Maybe it's just because it's red. Maybe if we get the DK guard or re-release of this thing, when it's cast in black, maybe those don't show up as much, but it's like those stick out like a sore thumb to me. Front looks pretty good. We don't have any painted headlights. Again, I think some painted headlights, a little yellow down the side, that would have been good, but a very nice painted silver bumper here. We got the Autobot symbol front and center. And then on the back of the van here, which definitely looks better than the Siege release or the Earthrise release did, where it was just feet hanging off the back, but at the expense of some Magic Square engineering here going on with a little tab inside here that doesn't like to tab in. And that's one thing I've found across this whole figure, is there are a lot of little tabs that I don't really enjoy, like the tabs here that go in the back here. They don't really tab into anything. It's just kind of they're offset to make the back clip in, and it doesn't like to clip in well to start with. And then when it does clip in, it breaks this peg off here, and then you got to repeg that in, and it's just kind of a pain to stay together, to be honest. It just doesn't want to really stay together. One more thing is, this is the bottom of his feet, and I really worry that over time this silver, this is the bottom of his feet, is going to get worn off. It kind of baffles me that they made that choice, but you know, they did for some reason or whatever. But yeah, really some things that, like, it's kind of crazy the way that this guy transforms. But again, there's just a few things that just really worries me. So final thoughts here on Studio Series 86 Ironhide. He's a good looking bot for sure. I think I like him better than the Masterpiece, simply because he looks more proportional here. I don't like the windows on the feet, but at a Voyager price point, for the $30 price point, you know, that's forgivable. I do like the way that these come around the back to cover the wheels. I think that's a really cool little detail they put in there. The way that the feet transform up. It does have its concerning issues with the clear plastic here on the hinges, and the especially the way that these little tabs here at the tab end of the top. I'm just really worried that over time this is going to break, as well as the silver on his feet here. I'm worried that over time that's just going to scuff off. As a matter of fact, I already have some scuffing on this one right here, just from doing this review. So that really does worry me about it. That being said, I mean, Evan, I think Evan works on the Studio Series stuff, and you know, him and one of the designers over at Takara, they did some crazy stuff to get this guy to fold all down without having to have the detachable backpack shield here, which honestly I would have been okay with. I would have been okay with him being a Voyager with the shield that makes the sled like the original toy did, simply because I like the way that this cleans up better. I know that's parts forming. The original toy parts formed. So, you know, if it's going to parts form anyway, if it parts formed originally, why not make it parts form, you know? Just stick with that. All that being said, he looks really good. I like, again, I like the back here. I love these wheels. I like the way that the wheels come around on the back, just like it did on the Siege release here. I think that's really awesome. I think it could have, you know, benefited from having that yellow stripe of paint that went down the side of the van to make the van mode look a little bit better, because the van's a little plain. But I'm sure Toy Hacks or someone will come out with something to do that with. So that's it, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Give me a like, subscribe. shoot me a comment. Let me know if your copy is having some of the same issues that mine are. Follow me over at the Daily TF on Instagram for daily posts of Transformer type things. And yeah, hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for staying to the end. God bless.